Hello, what's going on? My name is Mr. Witten, and if you're here, you might have just missed my lesson, but I appreciate you coming in and watching this. I'm going to try and have this available for you in YouTube. That way, if you miss a lesson or if you need to just review the lesson, this is going to be available for you. So I really appreciate that. What you have on your screen here is what we talked about on Thursday, September the 10th. We're talking about maps, and it's just a basic lesson. Why are maps important? Like, why in the world, even with all this new technology that we have, why in the world do we still have maps, and why are maps so important today? Even though we have all this technology, well, the thing is, all this technology still uses maps. You have, your GPS, your Google Earth, your Google Maps, your directions. Whenever you have, when you're going to, places wherever you're going, you can do that. I can pull up my Google Earth, my Google Maps, and things like that, and I can actually look at the ceiling of the school right now. It's crazy stuff that we still use maps today, and maps is a very important skill to have. Just in the history class altogether. So what I wanted to do was just briefly go over what we learned today in class. You can use this as a review, and it's all good. So there are a few steps that I need you to take whenever you are looking at maps, when you're reading maps in my class. The first one, and I'm just going to put them all here on the screen. The first one is the title. The reason why is because the title tells you what exactly it is you're looking at. You can get a lot of information about maybe the question that's going to be asked in the STAR test or the quiz, and it's right there in the title. It gives you that straight 100% direction, like, yo, this map here that I'm looking at right above the thing over here, there it goes right there, it's the United Kingdom. The second thing would be look for the key, which the title is actually inside the key. Um, the key tells you all kinds of things. What does a triangle look like? What I mean, not what a triangle looks like, but what is a triangle for? What does it represent? What does a star represent? What does a dot represent? Why is there red lines and blue lines and black lines and dotted lines? So the key is very, very important. Look for other map clues. You see in the map above me up here, you see North Atlantic Ocean. You see the North Sea. You see, Scotland is labeled. Then you read the words on the map, which I just did. You can read the cities. You can see all that good stuff. So it's very, very important to look at these steps. So number one, always look for the title. That's the first thing. If there's no title, it's not time to go crazy. Number two, you look for the key, because the key tells you a lot of information of what's on the map. Sometimes, like on this map up here, right over here, it tells you that the title of the map. So sometimes it's very, very helpful to look for the key. Then you look for any word clues, any other things that might be there. Read every word that you can read on the map, and that just gives you a great, great, great starting point. So looking at this map here in the southern colonies, and it's kind of blocked. I'll move it over. Um, you can see the title, which is very clear on the top. Most of the time they're going to be there, but not all the time. The southern colonies, so this was the colonies, the year was 1750. And then you look over here on the key, that's the second thing you look at: corn, indigo, naval stores, pigs, rice, tobacco. And then you look, okay, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Richmond, all this good stuff. So all that information is there. And what does this map tell me? What is this map talking to me about? Well, it's mainly talking about the main jobs, like how people made their money. They were farmers. It was agriculture. That's the fancy word for farming. It was agriculture. And so you have corn, you grow that. Indigo, that's a plant, so it's a flower. Naval stores, of course, still going to have naval stores because they do touch the ocean. Pigs, that's also farm. Rice, tobacco, those are all agricultural things. And you got this map here. I'll try and move that out of the way there. There we go. You have you look for the title. The title says Civil War Trust, Battle of Antietam, September 17th, 1862. So this map has a lot of information on it. And under my video right here, you see the legend. And legend's just a fancy word for key. It tells you what the blue represents, which is the Union or the North troops. You have the Confederates, which are going to be in the red. And then from there, you start reading the map. You start looking at all this information. You got Sturgis, Wilcox. You got Burnside right here, Sharpsburg, and then you have these small names over here. So it's just part of reading the map. It's just going through the process. And the process is very simple. Number one, you read the title. Number two, you look for the key. Number three, you look for any other map clues. And then number four, you start reading all the words on the map. And if you do that, you should be able to understand all the maps that we're going to show you this year. Here's another one, the election of 1860. Then you have the key right here, and it kind of tells you Lincoln, he's almost exclusive in the North. He won all those states from the election. How do I know it's the election? Because again, right here, 1860 is the election of 1860. So Lincoln won all these states in the North. And then Douglas, he's in purple right here. He only won Missouri. And then you have Bell with this turquoise color. He won these middle states. They're kind of in the middle. And then you have Breckinridge in the yellow, and he won all the South. And just looking at this map, I can tell that during this time, and the fact that I know that 1860 was when Lincoln was elected, that's when the Civil War started, that the country, and you can see it, the country is divided between North and South. And it was because of this election that caused the South to secede or leave the Union and start the Civil War. And I can read all that just by looking at this map. And so that's kind of how we're going to be looking at maps this year. We're going to be looking at them critically. We're not just going to be like, okay, well, it says election 1860. We have to delve into it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the lesson in a nutshell. Make sure that whenever you're going to be answering questions. If you missed the class, you're going to have to be answering questions. I'm going to put it in the Google Classroom as well, and make sure that you answer the questions correctly. That way, it shows me that you watched this video. Other than that, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.